Hello YouTube and welcome back to Alex's Cosplay Shop. Today we'll be working on Spring Bonnie once again. On the last video we tackled the ears and we got them working to an extent. We'll have to reinforce these on a later video, but at the moment we're going to work on the faceplate. So I'm going to set that down and let's get right into it. Now in that video I was starting to go ahead and do this whenever a problem arose, and that problem is still here. So I'm going to turn this to where you can see it just a little bit. These headphones out of the way. Well, there we go. Okay. So whenever we had this, we figured out it had to go like that if it was going to fit. And in hindsight, that looks pretty good. When you look at it like that, you can still see that. So I took a look at all the renderings that I was basing this off of, and I figured out that we could still do this, but it's going to take a little bit of extra effort. I'm going to turn this around, take a look at it for a couple minutes, and then I will tell you how I think we could do this. Now, if you've been following me exactly the same way I've been doing this, I am sorry that I am not doing this at my full potential. Normally I would not be filming this, and that way I'd be a lot faster, but I thought it'd be nice if I showed you guys how to do this. So, with further ado, I'm going to pause the video for a second and take a look at this. Okay, so I took a look at it there and I figured out the best way to do this is the worst way to do it. We're just going to try and hope for the best. I'll try to move my camera, but I'm not sure how well that would work. And now you guys can see my workspace, and it didn't work, did it? Okay, let me try to adjust this camera a little bit more. Put you guys down like that, and that. And now you still can't see anything, can you? Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to move the camera, am I? Crap. Well, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. So once your hot glue gun has been heated up, you're going to want to unplug that because you want to use the excess heat and not the full heat. So we're just going to dab some hot glue all over this and then put a piece of hot glue here just to whip this around and get it ready to go in all these places. And yeah, once you do that, you're ready to go, and you're gonna just put that on. I know what I said earlier, and that's going to be one of the things that's going to really stump me on this process of making Spring Bonnie, but it'll all come out in the way we do this right here. So if this doesn't turn out right, I am sorry. All the people who are watching in advance, I am sorry. But like I have said previously on all my videos, I'm not the best at this. Now what I'm going to do, taking off the measurements of where this was whenever we first put it in there, I'm going to use that to then pinpoint and exact the location of where the glue should be adhered to. Now once I have done that, we're going to do this once again using our little diagram that I have not been able to show you yet. And there you go. Got it kind of started there. Now, if your costume kind of looks like you pulled it out of a trash can, that's normal. Now, once we get this a little bit more streamlined and fabric and everything, it's going to look a lot better. I bet you're wondering, Alex, I've seen other people go ahead and put the eyes on this step, and I understand, but I'm not those guys. I'm simply the guy who tries and fails and tries again. We hope for the best. As you all know, that is our channel motto, hope for the best. Some people say keep going, I just say hope for the best. Now, if this video is kind of boring, I am sorry. In advance to that, I am sorry about that. But, I just like rambling on when I'm making these videos, so. And we're gonna let that sit for a couple of minutes here. Now, if your head's doing what my head is doing here, you're gonna wanna try to pull that up a little, because it's going to rub up against the jaw there, and you want it to not rub up against the jaw like that. Now, if you've already got to the step that I'm at, then that would mean that you are great. You are awesome. And if anyone tells you you're not awesome, then you can send them to me and I'll just put on my springbonnie costume and no one will know. They'll just never bother you again. You know what I mean? You too. I'm kidding. That's just humor. Please don't sue me for that. I'm just staying in character, friends. I'm staying in character. Alright, doing these voices helps. If you're going to be using this springbonnie costume at a convention or something, good luck, because that's what I'm doing. Now, I'm wearing my Glamrock Freddy costume that's soon to be shown on my YouTube channel soon. So, to that convention, it's in September, Chattanooga Comic-Con. I'll be at that event wearing one of these costumes. Only on Saturday, though. I will not be there for Sunday, since that is church, and I do go to church. So I will not be there for the Sunday events, but I will be there for the Saturday events. If you know when that is, because I do not have dates right on hand. But I have the dates somewhere for the convention times and stuff. I will probably be in the cosplay runway kind of thing. I was told that they're doing something like that. Later in the process, we will be putting a zipper on that seam there. But, not at the moment. So if you're going to be doing anything extravagant with this costume, I suggest you keep my channel motto in mind, because you're going to want to be doing a lot of hoping for the besting. Now, my research is correct, this jaw's not going to move properly now. Let's try it on, shall we? I don't know what you guys see. I can feel it moving, but I can't see it moving. I'll have to review the footage later. Let me just test it. Shove these forwards a little bit. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Well, you guys have seen how these heads have like a space for the jaw to move. I'm just gonna cut a little space for that real quick. Yeah, if you can see that there. You cut a little space for it to move. I'm going to do that on this side really quickly. It doesn't need it, but I'm going to do it just to match the other side. Now that's like that. See, it reveals a lot more and helps with the storytelling. Speaking of storytelling, I'm going to tell you what got me started with this costume. So, most people started making Spring Bonnie whenever they figured out what he looked like and stuff. Some people started making him whenever they figured out what the movie Spring Bonnie looked like. I agree with that, looking at movie renderings of characters. But I didn't do that. I just kind of started making him as soon as I knew what he looked like. And ever since then, I've been a fan of Spring Bonnie and doing the William Afton costumes. But, yep, that's how you do the faceplate so far. So in this video, we're also going to tackle the wonderful little thing known as the snout. Now I'm gonna go cut that. So let me move him out of the way so you guys can see me. So there's like a shape kind of like that goes across his boost there. So I'm going to cut that out of the same foam I used for the ears, the thick stuff. And hopefully that's going to work out. Well, I'm going to cut that and show you the shape you're going to want to cut. Okay. So you're going to want to have a shape kind of like that. You can see it there. I know the lighting in this workshop is not the best. So you're going to have two shapes like that and stack them together. And if your hot glue gun still has any hotness left in it, or if you need to plug it up again, no matter what you need to do, you just do it. And you're going to hot glue that to each other here. I would have put a smiley face on it, but I don't really have the time to put a smiley face on it. And hot glue shapes. Sometimes I do that as an Easter egg in my costume if I ever took it apart, but not today. So, if you got this, you're gonna kind of squish it together like that. And of course the fabric will be covering that, but I'm gonna take my scissors to it and get it put in a good orientation. If you can't hear me when I'm over here, I'm sorry, but my microphone is plugged up to what I can see here. Yep. Yeah, as you can see, once that's kind of in order there, straighten out that piece. Following kind of like a design like that. Now in the movie version, he's got like a chip here if you want to do that. Of course I didn't do that for reasons I don't want to discuss, except for me being too lazy to all this extra stuff. So, if you cannot hear me, which would be stupid me saying that, because if you can't hear me, then why would I be saying that? But I can't exactly repost the video with like a voiceover or something, since I don't know how to do that. So yeah, but what I'm doing now is I'm cutting a trench in the snout, and that trench is going to be used for the teeth. Now, I don't know if people use trenches like this, but I always have whenever I've had severe oversights like this. And they're always helpful. But yeah, you're just gonna dig like a trench like thing in here for all your teeth. For all Springbonnie's teeth, not your teeth. That'd be disgusting. Alright. Now if you can see in there, which you probably can't, I wish I had better lighting. Let me see if I can cover that a little. Now can you see it? No, you can't, can you? Crud. Hello, kids. So, putting Springbonnie back over here. He's a big rabbit now, isn't he? And it's gonna go right there. It's a big old rabbit. Now, once we got that, I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way, including the snout piece. And now we're going to make the teeth, because I don't really want to do that later. I want to do it right now. So, if you can see my little... Whoa, the camera's doing something I don't want it to do. Okay. So, if you've got a white sheet of foam like this, it's great, because that's what I make all my teeth out of for costumes like this. So I'd say Springbonnie would have big teeth. Big teeth is like a statement when it comes to these FNAF characters. So, just about as big as that. You're just going to repeat that process a couple times. And you can do these teeth any way you want to. This is just the way I like to do them. But teeth on animatronics are various sizes. Like Freddy has smaller teeth than Bonnie has smaller teeth than Freddy, but the way I make them is I always make them rectangular. Then I, cut them no matter, the ways that they're supposed to be cut or whatever. So, those look a little big, correct? So how I do this is I take, like these are bottom teeth I think, but yeah, way too big. But if you're doing something like that, then trial and error is always a good thing. No matter what people say, trial and error is the goat. Now, some rabbits have buck teeth, to what my research implies, and maybe some variants of Springbonnie do not have buck teeth. I don't know, but I thought I'd give them buck teeth. Like I said, I'm sorry if you cannot see exactly what I'm doing, but explaining it the way I'm doing here should give you a little bit of clarity on what I'm trying to get done here. So, yeah. Whenever you're cutting teeth, you might want to line up the tooth that you think looks good, then cut the others around that shape. Like what I'm doing here with the buck teeth I decided to make. is just kind of lining them up and cutting them. Now, we won't put any of these teeth in until the fabric is on them, but nice to see what it's going to look like. And once you've got that done, just gonna make the teeth about the same size but just a little wider. Like, you decide a shape like that, and then you take a tooth and you put it on that tooth and then you cut around it, and that makes the exact same shape. For the older cosplayers who have 3D printers and stuff, I suggest you just use your technology. But for all the younger, stronger, more independent cosplayers, I suggest for you, if you're making them the same way I am, to just follow the exact way you want to do this, because it's your cosplay. Or mine, technically, because I'm showing you how to do it. I'm kidding. It's your cosplay, and you get to decide all the stuff behind it. Now, timing might be a little off on these. This is Spring Bonnie Part 4. But to you guys, you'll probably see this video before you'll see Spring Bonnie Part 3. I might want to put like a context thing in there that says, like, Spring Bonnie Part 3/4. Because it's more like 3 than it is 4, but explaining things like that is hard to do. Yeah, trench idea was great for the buck teeth, but I don't know about the other stuff. Okay, moving on. So we've got the basic idea of what teeth are going to look like for him. Of some sort. So, now that we know what those are going to look like, and we've got the trenches in the jaw there, or the snout, now we're going to move on to the next part, which would happen to be making the eye holes. Oh boy. Normally I put fabric on the other parts before I do this. I go out of line of the way to make cosplays daily. I should probably end the video right here, but I'm not going to do that. So for those of you who hate me rambling on, I am so sorry. So incredibly sorry. It's turning out great. I'm winking at you guys if you can't notice that. Okay. I'm just going to take a little look here to see where these eyes might need to go. I've seen some people use marker to do this. You guys think I should draw Spring Bonnie's eyes on this blank canvas of a cosplay? Let me grab a marker. Okay, marker acquired. See back down here. I'm gonna draw it on and then show you what I've got. Okay, I traced out the eyes here and I'm putting the marker down. And voila. I cut them too. So those are gonna have eyebrows, of course. This thing right here is gonna go on it. So we're getting somewhere. The yellow rabbit is coming into view for the first time. So I'm gonna pause the video once again and do a little bit more work before I end the video off. Okay, so I put the snout on. Everyone should probably know how to do that if you're doing cosplaying. But that is the basic foam of Spring Bonnie. In the next video, we'll be putting fabric on it all and adding the teeth. So, until next time, I'll see you all on the flip side. I always